welcome to the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio program.
Raw and uncut, Jiggy Jag, you know how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it all the way live.
Broadcasting live from Hutchinson, Kansas.
Well, I'm sitting here with a linguist. I had no idea. I didn't know you were, but I didn't know that you were a wordsmith.
Call Jiggy right now, 267-22-JIGGY.
Daddy fun.
Hey, Jiggy, what's happening, man? Reminds me of that David Bowie song. Jiggy play guitar. It's a great name, man. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Presenting
I'm Mike Massey, and you can catch me on Jiggy Jag TV and see a few of my trick shots there. Thank you very much.
Jiggy Jaguar.
I never knew what freedom was until I saw you lose yours.
She looked like a pig. That's what it is. It is the world famous, not a cat, a pig. It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. It is a Sunday radio show. It is hour number 10. 10. 110, as the count says, 110. Thanks for joining us. It's hour number 2, as I mentioned. Jigman Freud with you. Jignatius Jagway. Jignatius Jagway. Back in the air chair is Shane McClintock, who is now the PD of Eagle Radio in Salina, Kansas, would say. So the Rock, Shane McClintock, back in the air chair with him. What is an air chair? You want to explain that to me, son? Steve Mills, of course. Steve Mills, I don't even want to get into Steve Mills. Steve Mills has had more jobs in radio. Oh my God. I don't want to get into it. Steve Mills already thinks I hate him. We don't want to give him a reason to not think that. That is awesome. It is hour number 2. It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. And hour number 2 today, we got Joshua coming up at the middle of the hour here in about 30 minutes. 30 minutes or so, Joshua, the big star, Joshua. 13 minutes after the hour, if you're listening to us live. Oh boy. Now in this segment, we're going to talk about our good friends over there at Access Television in Salina, Kansas. I was on their board of directors up until last week on a Wednesday? I believe Wednesday is when I resigned from their board. Let's take you back. I wanted to have a discussion. Myself and Paul Green, who are also on the board. He's still on the board. I'm not. Paul and I have known each other since Kansas Wesleyan University. He was going to be my college professor. Was my college professor. And I had gotten on the board of Access TV. And I was just trying to see what we could do about, getting some things going, getting some things done over there. And Paul had been trying to discuss in the board meetings about Access TV and about the future of Access TV and about their various things. And at one point he mentioned to me, they're not willing, the board is not willing to discuss this in a board meeting. So we should do it on television. We should do it on the channel, and we should discuss it. We should discuss the business of access. And I've done this many times in the past where I discussed we talked about journalism on one of our Live from Salina shows. So I booked Michael Owens, who at one time, I believe, was the executive director or was the de facto executive director of Access TV, along with my good buddy, Mr. Ross Long. The fabulous Ross the Boss, the rabble-rousing ringleader, yes, that Ross Long. And myself and Mr. Paul Green had a very spirited debate, brought up a lot of key issues about access, talked about the future of access, talked about how it should be run, all these various things. Well, Michael Owens decided, apparently, during the show to drop 2 F-bombs live on television. Now, of course, I don't think there was really anybody paying attention to it but board members and people who were into Access TV. I don't really think the general public was really paying too much attention or gave a fuck. However, and there's Erwin Zucker. Let's go to Erwin Zucker. He's on the phone with us. Erwin, good morning, sir. How are you?
Oh, good. Good. Have you got all the ammunition
I've got everything, my friend. I've got a series of emails from you.
Okay, well, put them together in sequence, and you'll be all right, and just use whatever you're comfortable with. But I think you'll have a great time with the male guy, the doctor turned novelist.
Yes.
And are you a baseball fan by any chance? Do you follow baseball?
I don't really follow baseball, but I can talk baseball, and it'll seem like I do follow baseball.
Well, this guy knows baseball from about 1865 to the present. I mean, he still follows baseball here, the Dodgers in Los Angeles, but he weaves baseball throughout his book. And it's an interesting historical novel. The guy, and he projects very well. Then the lady is a lot of fun. She's been on Broadway. She's done a lot of things. She can talk your head off, you know.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Jane Marlowe, yeah, she'll be good. Yeah. So talk. I know poetry may not be the most exciting thing, but she makes it exciting. There are 4 different aspects of poetry that she talks about. You know, reciting poetry and reading poetry and other aspects of it. People don't stop to think about the important aspects of poetry. But anyhow, she's a live wire. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I'm looking forward to it, Erwin. Thank you for getting those 2 people for me today.
Yeah. But her first book was about dogs. So go through her bio fast, and you can ask her anything, you know. And so you got 2 good literary guests today. Okay.
Good stuff.
All right. You'll elevate the intelligence of the public. What's happening next week? Are you definitely going to be on the air next week?
We're going to definitely be on and getting it going. So if you want to get me a couple people, we'll be good to go.
Yeah, well, you know, I always like to double check because it takes me a while to send out the information and put it together. Okay, read the stuff over carefully and cross out what you don't want to use and the red pencil the stuff you want to use, you know?
Yep.
Okay. I think you'll have a good time with both. It'll be educational, informative, and entertaining. Okay?
Definitely. Right. Thank you, Erwin.
You got everything. Okay. All right. Good luck with both guests. Yeah, I'm sure they'll both want copies of the show.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I'll
Take
get it
care.
to them. Thank you, Erwin. Appreciate it, my friend.
All right. Yeah, you're going to have a good show today. Okay, bye.
Thank you, my friend. That was Erwin Zucker, by the way. From Motion and Motion. I love Erwin. Erwin is always on top of it, baby. He's always on top of it. The guy's 90, I think. Is he 90? I think he's 90. I think so. That's what he told me one time. On my 90th birthday. I love Erwin. Erwin's great. As I was talking about Access TV, we had Mike Owens on. He dropped a couple F-bombs. The only people, in my opinion, who were watching the show were Access board members and maybe a few folks who were Access people. I don't think the general public really gave a fuck. But they went ahead and they lodged some complaints, and they went through the complaint process, and they decided they were going to take away my live show. After they sent me an email and told me that they were so glad that I put this show together and I was upholding my First Amendment freedom of speech, that they were going to take it away from me. So they went ahead and they did that. Well, I decided we're just not going to do this board thing anymore. Couple different reasons. One, they would hold these board meetings at 6 o'clock. And I am in the process, as everyone knows, of training for another fight coming up. I can't get from the gym or anything in Wichita to Access in Salina by 6 o'clock. It's just not going to happen. Now, if they do it 7 o'clock, I'd probably get there. In fact, I know I could get there. But they didn't really want to move those board meetings, so that's part of it. The other part of it is the fact that I just really wasn't able to get a lot of ideas and a lot of things across to them. And so I really was just wasting my time and wasting their time on that board. So I went ahead and resigned from the board. Still going to do the TV show. We're going to be put into a pre-taped period for a little bit. They're going to make me tape the show for, I would say, 3 months. And then we'll come back live. I haven't determined what I want to do yet. If I want to go on the air and say that we're just from Salina, because I can't really say we're live from Salina. I thought about going on the air and saying we're live on tape from Salina. I thought about saying we are live and using air quotes. I thought about saying we are live when the show was taped from Salina, you know, something. and Thursday, when I go up there to do the TV show, we'll figure out exactly what we want to do when we want to call the show what we call the show. So, it'll be interesting. My thanks to Erwin Zucker for calling in earlier. I have no ill will towards Access. We're not going to be going through and doing like we did way back in the day on the Sunday radio broadcast. We're not going to try to burn the place to the ground. I'm still on good terms with them. They haven't expurgated me from the company. I'm still there. I could still be on the board if I wanted to be. I just choose not to. It's like the Seinfeld thing. I choose not to run. So who knows? And maybe I'll take another stab at the board next year, get on the board. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Doesn't matter. In the big scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. So, that is that. I just wanted to update everybody on that. We are going to go to a break. And when we come back, we are going to try to get a hold of Joshua. Yay! She's going to try to get a hold of Joshua. As the song from Perfect Strangers. Yes, I'm going to play this theme song of Perfect Strangers. Remember Perfect Strangers, Balky? I did like Balky. Balky was something else. He was the Russian guy. He was here. Supposed to be funny. I heard a rumor that Perfect Strangers and some of the Friday night television lineup is going to be available on Netflix very soon. If that is the case, I'm making Britannia watch Perfect Strangers. It's a hell of a show. We're going to take a time out and come back with more.